All right, if this one thing happens, you could instantly lose access to all your financial accounts. I'm talking about 2FA, or two-factor authorization, as it's known. Now, you may be familiar with 2FA, but if you're not, listen up, because you're going to need to be. So 2FA is a secondary method of authorization that it's used by online platforms, financial platforms, especially banks and crypto, that requires you to type in is typically a 6-digit number that shows up in your 2FA app on your phone. Now, this app doesn't need to be connected to the internet to run, by the way, but the app has to be synced initially with a QR code, which is just a string of characters that's provided by that platform. So, for example, if you have an account at your local bank, let's say, I don't know, or a big national bank, and they say, hey, we need you to enable 2FA. Here, scan this QR code. And so you have to have a 2FA app on your phone. And there are lots of them. There's a Google app, but I don't recommend you use that. You can just search apps for 2FA. You can find lots of apps that are all free, by the way. So you have your app, scan the QR code with your camera, and then that begins the pairing of your 2FA with that platform and your login account. And then from that point forward, anytime you log in, you're asked, enter the 2FA number, which changes every 30 seconds. So it's kind of like a rolling secure code, and it just provides an extra level of certainty that it's you logging into your accounts. So that's why a lot of banks and crypto platforms and so on, they use 2FA. Another kind of lower tech way to have a second authentication is for them to text you on your phone, like send you a text and then they text you a code. You've seen that. It's the same concept. But 2FA apps don't require the cell towers to be functioning, right? So if you can't get a text to come through, a 2FA app will still function. But here's what you need to know. If you lose this phone, let's say, or this phone stops working, or if the phone's not charged, or, 1,000 other reasons, if you can't get to that 2FA app, you're locked out. You can't get into your accounts. I was just thinking about this weekend as I was on a platform that was asking me to add 2FA. And now I have a kind of best practices habit that whenever I add 2FA, I scan that code with 2 devices. So I have my main phone, which I'm scanning it with, and my main phone is a de-Googled phone. So I don't have Google spying on me. I don't have Apple spying on me. I'm running a different operating system. I think in this case it's Graphene. So I'm scanning it with a de-Googled phone, but I also have another mobile phone that has no SIM card. I've never logged into Google on this other phone, and it has a 2FA app on it. So I scan that QR code with that phone as well. This way, and that phone never leaves my desk. So if I were to lose my main phone, or it were to just conk out and stop working, I would still have this backup phone, which has the 2FA authorization, so I wouldn't be locked out of my financial accounts. This is a practice that I highly, highly encourage you to take on. You absolutely need to have at least 2 2FA devices so that you have a backup device in case you lose access to your primary device. And again, you'll be locked out of your accounts. So this did happen to me a couple of years ago where I didn't have this practice in place, and my phone went bad and I didn't have 2FA access to one of my online bank accounts. And I had to go through and contact customer service, and it took a couple of days to sort it out. They had to disable the 2FA, but in order to do that, they had to prove that I was who I said I was, and so on. And that customer service process, on a good day with a good company, might be a same-day resolution or a next-day resolution. With a bad company, that could be 2 weeks. So imagine going 2 weeks with no access to, let's say, your primary bank account. Now, imagine this. Imagine going 2 weeks without access in the middle of the declaration of World War III and a global financial crisis when you need to move money rapidly and you're locked out, and everybody else in the world is panicking and calling customer service at the same time. Well, that 2 weeks might stretch out to 2 months, you see. You're screwed in that case. You've got no access, 2FA doesn't work, customer service is overrun, you're panicked to get out of the fiat currency system because of whatever's going on in the world. Or maybe you're trying to buy gold by sending a wire and you can't get in. And they won't help you because customer service is overrun. So that's the kind of situation that you could find yourself in. Now, it's worth mentioning, by the way, that you know how I've been railing about how fiat currency sucks and the world of crypto finance actually works better. Well, you don't use 2FA devices to log into your crypto wallet, you know? You don't need to call customer service and have them allow you to access your wallet. So if you have a crypto wallet, as long as you remember your password and your seed phrase, don't forget the seed phrase, that's the most important, then even if that computer fails, you can just install the same wallet on a second computer, enter your seed phrase, it'll rescan the blockchains, and then all your crypto reappears. And you don't need customer service because there is no customer service in crypto. But my point is, you have control over your money. You're not locked out. You can always, as long as you have your seed phrase, you can always get back in and you can reassert control over those coins on those blockchains. And that's really an advantage. I've pointed this out before, that even when banks are frozen, even by the federal government initiating a bank freeze, or when they initiate very aggressive withdrawal limits, saying, oh, you can only take out $5,000 a day max, that's it, total, you know, by all the methods in the aggregate. Well, guess what? When that happens, you know, you're not going to be able to move much fiat money around, but you can still use all your crypto. The crypto still functions. As long as there's an internet functioning, as long as the power grid is up somewhere, doesn't have to even be up everywhere, just has to be up in enough places for enough nodes to run, which frankly, technically, it only needs one node to run, but you know, you'd like to have more than that, but there's tens of thousands of nodes of Bitcoin running all over the world. So chances are there's going to be nodes that you can talk to and you can get your coins, or you can assert control over your coins, which is really how crypto wallets work. Now, also, of course, in off-grid mode, you know, you can use gold and silver. So it's always good to have gold and silver, physical precious metals, as part of your money system. That's why I recommend gold and silver and crypto at this point. But getting back to the 2FA issue, I really hope you recognize how 2FA, it kind of locks you into a centralized system. And if you lose that 2FA, you are so screwed. You are royally screwed, especially in an emergency. And that's why I think it's a great idea to get yourself an account on a crypto exchange. And the one that's working for me is Kraken, Kraken. And they have demonstrated to me that they have the best customer service by far. They've solved, you know, numerous problems, and they got me back online after they initially banned me because they thought somebody was impersonating me and so on. But anyway, go to kraken.com, get your account set up there, link it to your bank account, wire some money in there, get your crypto, get your account level set to intermediate or pro, which requires some documentation you'll have to provide, you know, like send me a picture of your passport and all this kind of stuff. And you get all squared away, then you can buy crypto and you can take it off the platform. You can put it in your own private crypto wallet. And that's where you have control. So don't leave it on the platform. Don't even leave it on Kraken. Even though I think Kraken is a great platform, I do not trust Kraken to always be there. There might be issues where Kraken is offline, right? Or you can't reach it or whatever. So make sure that you have it in your own wallet. That's the place to put it. And then you have control. And then we'll talk in another podcast about all the best practices when it comes to securing your wallet, recording your seed phrase, making sure your seed phrase is stored in a location so it's not lost in case of flood or fire or other things like that. And then you're good to go. So We'll talk about that later, and this is all part of Decentralize.tv, which is the new show that teaches you how to achieve a decentralized lifestyle. That's what it's all about, is decentralized living. So I think you'll really enjoy the show. If you have not yet seen an episode of it, I think you will, in fact, really enjoy it. So check it out. Decentralize.tv is the URL. Thanks for listening. I'm Mike Adams here of Brighteon.com and naturalnews.com. Take care. A global reset is coming, and that's why I've recorded a new 9-hour audiobook. It's called The Global Reset Survival Guide. You can download it for free by subscribing to the naturalnews.com email newsletter, which is also free. I'll describe how the monetary system fails. I also cover emergency medicine and first aid and what to buy to help you avoid infections. So download this guide. It's free. It's my gift to you simply because I want like-minded people to survive.